All right, folks, we told you we were going to be getting outside of just music, and here we are in the kitchen. I'm going to teach you how to make a tuna sandwich, as simple as that may sound. Many of you have probably never made your own tuna fish sandwich. Some of you might think, oh, that sounds really, really disgusting. Well, I want you to give it a try. If you don't like it, maybe mom or dad will eat it, and at least you'll learn something. So, let's get in the kitchen and let's make some tuna. But before we start, can't cook without some music. Even if the food comes out terrible, this album right here will save pretty much any situation. It's one of the best albums ever made. It's a double album by Stevie Wonder. It's called Songs in the Key of Life. And while you're cooking your own, I want you to listen to this album. The first song is called Love's in Need of Love Today. So start there. Second song, Have a Talk with God. If you can find the full thing on YouTube, just let it play. It's a beautiful album and it's incredibly uplifting. All right, I've got the music a little bit low because I want to make sure you can hear me. Normally I listen to music really loud when I'm cooking. All right, folks. First step, get yourself a can of tuna fish. Tuna in water is what I prefer. There is such thing as tuna in oil. I've never liked the tuna in oil, although I do add fresh oil to my own tuna. So I'm going to put that there. Next up, you want to get some mustard and some mayonnaise. A lot of times when I make my own tuna, I will add avocado oil instead of mayo. But I think what we're going to do today is we will do it the easiest way using mayo. If you hate mayonnaise, replace the mayo with oil. All right, let's crack this thing open. Get yourself a can opener. The way this works is this little clampy bit goes on the edge. You squeeze it, and it pops a hole in it. Then, you're going to turn your turner. See the can spinning around? It's better than the internet, kids. The can is spinning around. All right, once you've got the can off, you're going to drain your excess. You can give it to the cat if you want. I just dumped it in the sink, but I forgot that Batty Catty would probably like it. Make sure you wash it down. Tuna is really stinky. Don't want to squeeze out all the liquid from the can because it's going to keep your tuna nice and moist. All right, I've got my can of tuna. I'm going to get me a fork, and I'm going to carefully remove the lid from the tuna. The edge of this can be sharp, so do not cut yourself. You might even want to ask for some help with that. All right, we are going to take the tuna, and it's going in a bowl. Take all of it right in there. Uh-oh, here comes the little monster. Here, you can have what's in the can. Get over here. Put it up here. Come here. Come here. You can have what's in the can. Some people don't like to let their pets on the counters. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. All right, we've got the mayonnaise. I'm going to add a decent scoop into the tuna, and I'm going to start mixing it around. You don't want to end up with just mayonnaise. It's just going to be too much, so make sure you get a nice mixture. Looks like that. Oh, get out of the mayo. That is disgusting. Now that's where I draw the line. I've got to draw the line somewhere, folks, and that's where I'm drawing it. All right, stay out. Thinking about not letting you on the counter anymore if that's the kind of cat you're going to be. All right, next we need some pepper. Where's the pepper? There it is. Fresh crushed pepper is best, but I've got this big thing of pepper and that'll work. Pepper's going in there. Looks like that. I like pepper, so I'm going to do a little bit extra. Looks like that. Mix in your pepper. All right. Now, personally, I like a little bit of avocado oil in there, so I'm just going to splash. That was just a tiny little bit of oil in there. I like the flavor of the avocado. I've got some fresh avocado to add as we get closer to the end here. All right, that's what it looks like. Now, I don't personally love mustard, but I've got to honor my old friend Rocky Lamoli, who showed me how to make a tuna sandwich in this 3rd grade or whenever it was. I'm going to shake that tuna up good. If you don't, shake the mustard. You don't shake your mustard, you're going to end up with a bunch of liquid that's going to be kind of gross. Here's a little splash of mustard for Rocky. And I only put a little bit. I never liked mustard, but I always add a little drop for Rocky Lamoli. All right, next up, what are we going to put it on? Well, you could go with your classic sliced bread, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I've got my favorite is San Luis sourdough, deli style. It's a little softer. I'm going to wash my hands before I reach in the bread. I'm going to give them a good thorough washing with some soap here, because I'm about to reach in that bag of bread, and if I don't have clean hands, I'm liable to make that bread moldy from the dirt that's on my hands. They say to wash your hands for the length of a song with nice hot water, but I have already washed my hands a million times today, so I think I'm going to call it good there. I'm going to reach in and grab out 2 nice pieces of bread. I've got my bread out. I've got my bread, and for some reason I grabbed a fork instead of a knife, but I'm going to grab some butter here. And I'm going to very lightly put a little butter on my bread. Because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to toast this bread, and I like a little salty butter on the toasted bread. Not too much. We've got a wet tuna sandwich coming. That's going in the toaster oven. If you don't have a toaster oven, just skip this step, pick your favorite bread, and we'll see you in the next step. All right, while we're waiting for the bread to toast, I'm going to take one of these ripe avocados. How do you know if an avocado is ripe? My friend Brandon taught me this. There's a little, where the stem was connected, you should be able to just pull it off with your finger. Ooh, maybe that one's not quite all the way ready. Let's see what else we got. That one's missing it. There, it fell right off. I could have probably pulled off the other ones, but I wanted to show you how it does come right off. All right, an avocado. You're not going to want to use a sharp knife for this, so get yourself a butter knife. You're going to cut in. I go all the way around. And then I'm able to just twist, and I have an avocado. I hated avocados when I was a kid. I thought they tasted and smelled like dirty diapers. Not that I've ever eaten a dirty diaper, but you get what I mean. I'm going to slice right down the avocado and get it ready to pull it out. The other half I'm going to just leave as is. I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to save that for later. All right, my bread is toasty. It's got a nice golden brown thing happening. I like to have the toasty part on the outside, and on the inside, the bread is very soft. We've got our bread ready. We've got our avocado. We've got our tuna, which has been peppered, but not salted yet. So next we're gonna add some salt. I think I'm gonna use somewhere here I have a little bag of pink Himalayan salt. And the reason I'm going to use this one is I like doing a little pinch. So I pinched the salt, and I'm going to rub my fingers together and let that salt fall in that. You could also just do a shake. I like doing the pinch. Call me crazy. All right. It's getting serious now. It's time to add the tuna to the sandwich. It's important that I didn't make my tuna too wet with either the liquid from the tuna or from the mayo so that the sandwich doesn't get too soggy. Now I'm going to take my avocado. I'm going to scoop out what I already kind of pre-cut. And again, some of you are looking at this like, I would never eat that in a million years. Well, it just so happened I wanted a tuna sandwich first. Next, I will show you how to make a grilled cheese. A little pepper on top. Did I forget anything? Nah, I think I'm gonna call it good, although I'm tempted to drizzle a little balsamic on there. I think I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna keep it simple. Got that. I'm gonna cut it so that I don't make such a big mess when I'm eating one side. There's that. I'm gonna take some of my favorite potato chips from Grocery Outlet. These are jalapeno chips. I'm gonna give myself a nice little serving. Now you gotta be careful because if you're like me, you're gonna eat more chips and you're not gonna eat any sandwich. And that's a lot of salt. And I put a lot of chips there. Our sandwich is done. It's ready to eat. Now it's all about finding the perfect place to enjoy it. Let's go outside. All right. Let's see how this thing came out. Delicious.